Get ready to make this skirt with me.
Fabric, crepe fabric to make this. I won't be lining this fabric because the fabric is thick on its own. So here is my fabric. I have see how many years I have here, but I know it's enough to make. So it's 36, it's up to 42. So it will be enough for my gown length because my total skirt gown length is 40. Now I'll be folding my fabric into two, considering my hip measurement. My hip is 42. 42 divided by 4, that gives us 10.5. So 10.5, I'll be adding 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance. So I should have 12.5. Let me just add 1.5 inches so that it will not be bulky. The allowance will not be too excess over it. So that makes it 12 inches. So measure. Now I'm having 12 inches here. So let me adjust the camera so it can. Okay. So I'm having 12 inches here right now. Then this is my waistline. My waist is 30. So 30 divided by 4, that's 8 inches. 8 inches. Then I will add 2 inches, 1.5 sewing allowance. Then my hip length is 9, but because I'll be bringing a band of 1.5 to it, so I'll raise it up by that 1.5. That I'll be bringing the band, and I will be using 1.5 to join this, so to join it to the band. So let's say 1 inch here. So I'll measure 9. Then I'll measure my hip measurement here, which is 10.5 plus 1.5 and 1.5 sewing allowance. So I have 12 inches here. So I will measure down to my skirt length. My skirt length is 40. So I'm having 41 here. It's okay. I will just fold the 1 inch for my allowance. So yeah, I want it to be a pencil skirt. Whatever I have here, I have to be a minus 2 here. So I have 10. So I'll measure 10. Yeah. Okay. So let me connect the lines together right now. Yes. Okay. Yes. So I'll connect this, then this also. This way, then I'll make a straight line down to the so now our skirt front pattern is ready. Now I can cut out. Good. So I'll fold the remaining fabric into two again. I'll keep this front aside. Excuse me. I'll fold into two again, putting in mind our zip allowance. So now I'll place my I'm sorry, I measure 14 inches, forgetting about the fact that I'm going to still add 1.5 inch band to it. So I'm going to remeasure here now. I'm going to measure the length here now to correct that aspect. So you're not measuring for your total skirt length. You would have to subtract your 1.5. So I've placed my front on the back bodies. This is my, I don't want, the zipper allowance should is just 1.5. And bring it here. So you see the zipper allowance here is just 1.5. You can use 1 inch or anything you want. So I'll take the skirt length again. I said I minus 1 inch for, okay, this part is my 9 inch for the hip length. So I'll now measure 40 now. 41. So here is where 41 is. My 41 inch is. So I'll just trim that side to have equal line, so I can cut out my front line. Now I'll come in by half an inch here. Let me just chalk it out. I'll come down by 5 inches. This is 5 inches. Then I'll come in by half an inch just to allow it sit properly on the butt. Then I'll make a slant so that's 5 inch like this. Good. Now at this part too, I will come down by 5 inch also from the hip length. Then I'll go, this is where the butt is, so I'll open it up here. Then when I get here, I'll start reducing it by 0.25. Our skirt is ready. So to move on to our band, normally we're supposed to make a band that will go around, but I like making my band, sewing my band separately, so to be easy for me to adjust when the skirt is getting loose. My waist measurement usually changes, so sometimes I'm bloating, sometimes my waist is down, so it's easy for me to just adjust it on the side, unlike having a round band that I will have issue adjusting. So whatever I have here for the front, this is my front skirt. I'll measure what I have here. So I have 10 inches, so I'll go ahead and cut out 10 inches by 10 by this 10 inches. So I'll cut out 10 inches by, because it has to be folded into 2, 10 inches by, first let me cut out this fresh edge because of the stretching ability. It might affect my sewing. So now I'm cutting out 10 inches by 4, 10 inches on fold by 4. So now remember I said I want it to be 1.5. When we fold it into 2 like this, what we are going to have is going to be 2 inches. Let me measure first to see. So you see, this is 2 inches. Then we use half inch to sew it to the skirt. So this is for the front band. Now let's create the back band. I'll measure the back waist. What do I have here? I have 11 inches. So I'll go ahead and measure 11 inches. No, so I'll measure 11 inches. So here is my 11 inches. It's going to be 11 by 4. But let me see if this is up to it. So since I want 2 of it, I will just cut it out at once. 11 inches by 4. So I'll first measure the first. Don't worry, you understand. I'm cutting out 8 because I'll still divide it into 2 to give me the 4 inches that I really needed. So now I'll measure 4 inches again. No, we have 2 sides for the back. so we have to cut it on in two. Now I can cut it, get into the sewing proper. To sew this now, I'll first go ahead and attach my band to both the front and the back. So I'll take my band, I'll take my front, then I'll take the band. There's the band. I'll attach ST to this part, then to give it firmness, then I will fold it this way. Then I will sew, excuse me, I will sew half inch to get to this place. I also to half inch down. After sewing, I'll interlock it. I'll do the same thing for the back sides too. I guess look at that. So I'll pick my band this way, then I will sew along this line. Now this is the front, so I'll sew along this line. After sewing, I will interlock it. I'll do the same thing for the other side, then I'll come back to show us the next step. I attach my band to each of them, so I'm supposed to give it a good press, but there's no light now. I'll be doing that when the light is being restored. So I've done that for the two sides at the back and then for the front side too. Okay, so you can see now I'll go ahead and sew the back together at the zipper side. So here is my hip side, this is the zipper side. My zip length is, I'm using skirt zip, so that should be size 10. I'm using the long skirt zip, so size 10 is okay. So from this 10 here, remember our sewing allowance is 1.5, so I measure 1.5 here, so I'm good. 1.5. Then I'm going to measure my slit length. My slit length, depending on how long you want your slits to be. Because the pencil skirt, the slit has to be a bit high so that you can easily move your leg. So I'm going to measure 18 inches for my slit. Remember, I have 1 inch for my, let me just measure 20 inches, so it's okay. My normal skirt length is 22, so 21 inches is okay for my slit, depending on how wide you want it. Now I also measure the 1 inch in, 1.5 inch in. So I'm going to sew from this point to this point. I will notch it, I will sew it, knot it, then I'll fix my zip. After fixing my zip, I'll go ahead and weave the two sides, then come back to show us the next step. Now I've attached the sleeve, this zip to the back. You can see it's sitting very pretty. Then this part, and I've weaved it down. So this part here, I'm supposed to just use my iron and then straighten it out. So I use hemi gum to hold this part down. I did that in my previous video on the gown, so you can watch that to see how I did it. I just put my hemi gum here, then I will iron it down. It's okay, so it's good to go. So now let's pick the front, but the front parts of the skirt. Now I've gone ahead to iron the skirt, the slit part. You see, I've ironed it and I've used hemi gum to hold it down. So I'll turn this to the right side like this. Then I'll pick up my front skirt part. I'll place it on top like this. making sure they are equal. So notice that there's a kind of shortage here, probably the part. So so now I'll go ahead and take my measurement again so that I will sew. I'll know what to sew. My waist is 32, half of 32 is 16. So I'll measure what I have here. I have 19. So that's 3 extra. So I'll measure 1.5 here. Then I'll also measure 1.5 here. Let me see this. Okay. Yep. So I've measured 1.5 here. So from here to here now, I must have 16. So from here to here is 16. Then to my hip length, I'll just measure 9. You see that my line is now aligned after attaching my band. I now have 9 inches. So you should also have the same thing when you're taking it. Then at this point, I'll measure my hip. My hip is 42. 42 divided by 2, that's 21. I have 23.5 here. So I need 21. 1, 2. So I'll divide 1.25 at the hip part, 1.25. Then I'll also measure 1.25 here too. Whatever is remaining is what you are going to divide into 2, and you share it for both sides. So I go down to my hem. I have 20 inches. And I want to make it 16. So I'll measure 2 inch here and 2 inch here. So what I will have here should be 16. Good. So now I will connect these lines together using my cuff. So I'll do the same thing for the other side too. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and sew a straight line. So along this line, then I will hem the lower part. We are finally done with the sewing. Let me do that and come back to show us. I'll also weave it before turning it. So I just cut off the excess allowance. So I have just like half inch allowance, or this I have just like 1 inch allowance, so in allowance at the side, so I can be able to lose it out anytime it becomes too tight for me. Then I've also hemmed the lower part, so I will turn it to the right side for us to see the final look. It's looking so pretty. I've put it on, I've tried it, and it's looking so nice. If you make yours and you find that maybe the cuff is not straight, you can quickly reshape it to your size. So to get this, especially if you are the type that is EP, that has larger hip like me, so getting your hip shape at the first time might be kind of difficult, but continuous practice you get used to it. So we are done with today's tutorial. Yeah, here's the skirt. I'll put it on the mannequin. I'll put it on for you to see. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share this video. If you have any question, I'll be in the comment section to answer your question. So for now, I say bye.